what you say, 4 teams and like 25 people total working together to build this guy. And then the liquid engine that I'm working on, there's 2 or 3 teams on that, and about 15 of us who are working to improve last year's design. So a lot of different people all over the place.
Right. And then there's kind of like the teams are just split off based on what they do. So we have like an aerodynamics team. They're focused on like designing the fins and nose cones to make sure that we can get the highest apogee possible. And then there's like structures and recovery team. They're focused on like parachutes and building like composites and couplers to make sure that the structure of the rocket's safe. Yeah.
Awesome. And then, yeah, this is very exciting. We get to like see the rocket that you launched last year. How many hours of work would you say went into building this rocket?
Definitely like a couple hundred, I would say, across the board. We had our manufacturing lead last year. He would just be in the shop from like 8 a.m. to like 12 a.m. for 3 or 4 days in a row just manufacturing parts. So yeah, there's a lot of work that really goes into it.
And then, we're here in the recreation center. Did you get any weird looks, moving this rocket into the rec center?
Yeah, I've carried this guy around a couple times for different events, and I always get weird looks from cars going past when I just got an end of a rocket slung over my shoulder. But it's also great because I get to look at people and say, you want to come talk about rockets? And then they come meet at our booth. And just this morning I was carrying it in, and I had somebody give me a look and say, what table are you going to be at? And I was like, 74, come on down. And they were perfect. They came and talked to me later, and they might join.
Awesome. Yeah, quite the conversation starter, with the new freshmen. And what would you say was the most challenging aspect of building this rocket in specific?
I would say definitely like the timeline, because a lot of the design aspects have to be fleshed out before we can actually start building. So we end up building like the last couple months before we do launch. So all of this was constructed in, I want to say, like 8 to 10 weeks. So once we start building, it is a really intensive process, and we're just like sitting in the shop for many hours at a time putting together parts.
And then are there any opportunities for students to view the rocket launches, or how would students get involved if they want to like see them in action?
Well, we have videos on our YouTube channel, Cal Poly Space Systems, of last year's achievements. But for these guys, if anyone wants to come out to our launch, they're more than welcome to join and come along with us. That's going to be a long day. We usually go out to the middle of the desert to launch these, so we go to Lucerne Lake usually, which is about 4.5 hours away. So a long day, but they'll be on our streams, and we'll make new YouTube videos for people to view them as they wish.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us, and we're going to go ahead and toss it back to the studio, but we'll see you back here in a few.
Thank you, Madison. That was a really cool rocket.
Yeah, I did not know we had that club. I don't know how they built that.
Exactly. It kind of reminds me of like my first year, seeing all these new things. It was kind of crazy, no?
Yeah, and coming freshman, you're like, wait, I have no clue what's going on when you see something like that. And we have a lot of different clubs that are really unique to Cal Poly.
Definitely. Speaking about being a first year, one big requirement for first years is being able to live on campus. I know first years have to live on campus for their first year, and then depending on your major, I know sometimes second years can also live on campus. When I was a first year, I lived in North Mountain. How about you?
I lived in the newer dorms, so Yakatutu, specifically Chilchakudich, and I absolutely loved my dorm. I always think back to it, and I'm like, wait, what if I just went back? But my first year was a little different because it was at the peak of COVID, 2020. I'm a senior now, and Cal Poly allowed freshmen and some sophomores to move onto campus in September of 2020, but instead of the 3 to 2 person rooms, sometimes even 4 students lived in, we lived alone in a 3-person room, which personally I loved because I still had my roommate and all my friends next to me, but it's like we all got our own room. So it was a very different feel than what we see today. Reporter Leaf Colum spoke with freshman students to get a scoop on the dorm life.
Students at Cal Poly live in one of 4 designated residence halls, which act as living and learning communities based on college, educational program, or lifestyle preference. North Mountain has 5 halls in the northeastern part of campus. You can usually find people studying or getting some sunshine on the lawns, and you might even see an animal friend or two. The 6 South Mountain halls are more commonly known as the Red Bricks. The Red Bricks are the closest dorm to the University Union, but if you'd like to stick around, there's plenty of indoor and outdoor spaces to hang out.
So I think the Red Bricks have always had like a really good reputation of having a good community, and it's definitely a fun living space, and there's fun activities to do. Like we have ping pong, a piano, and good study spaces to study with other people that are usually in your classes as well.
You can find the towers on the southeast end of campus near Vista Grande Dining. Sierra Madre is on the left with 6 buildings, and the Yosemite is on the right with 10, with a basketball court and disc golf course in between them. Yakatutu is at the Grand Avenue entrance of campus and is named in honor of the Northern Chumash indigenous people of San Luis Obispo County.
I love it. A lot of people will be out, as you can see today, when it's sunny, tanning and just hanging out. There's a lot of people who will sell clothes and set up booths and play funny games. Especially when it was raining, I dragged all my roommates out and we were just sliding around in the mud, and we met so many other people who were wanting to do the same. So.
The 7 Yakatutu buildings face a central amphitheater and have other outdoor activities like ping pong. No matter where you live, current freshmen say that living in the dorms builds community and connection with their fellow students.
Try to be as extroverted as possible, even if you're not very extroverted. And I think trying to meet as many people as you can.
You'll start to realize you recognize more and more faces, and that just makes it feel more like you're at home than you're away from home and at a scary college campus.
Leave column, Mustang News.
Oh my goodness, seeing those dorms again kind of like was a little flashback for me.
I know, and I was just saying to her how that backdrop of Yakatutu was so beautiful.
Right?
Like I need to go on a walk on campus.
Sunny day. I know so many people love to like suntan. It's so nice. I lived on campus twice, so I lived in North Mountain and then I lived in the apartments, the student apartments. And yeah, it was always such a beautiful walk from campus to the dorms or to the apartment.
Yeah, it's definitely different being off campus though. So I only lived in Yakatutu once on campus, and then I moved to a student apartment, then a house, and then a different house closer to Cal Poly. It's little hard to find housing at Cal Poly, especially for like an affordable price, in San Luis Obispo in general. But I've loved living off campus. It's a lot more freedom in some way, and you're a lot more involved in the community outside, like in San Luis Obispo, which is really interesting. You're not as isolated.
True. I will agree with that. I think one of the biggest benefits, though, is that you do get to class on time. When living on campus, that short commute, I will miss that.
Yeah, you don't have to pay for a parking pass if that's a problem, or just find a spot in general.
Right? I definitely get that. And especially after, like, the library closing, I feel like, I don't know, it's just very different, kind of like being on campus. Like, when I was a freshman, I would always be in the library, and now, like, not it being closed, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, we have a lot of construction, but that's a big project that's still going on.
Definitely. And after Cal Poly closed down its library to make renovations, students are looking for places to study. Let's take a look at some of those available spaces. Cal Poly, especially after the Kennedy Library closed for remodeling back in the summer of 2023. However, with that said, students have found different study spots around campus as an alternative to the library. Cal Poly has many outdoor seating areas around campus where students can get vitamin D while they're studying for their classes. Some spots are outside the subway on Dexter Lawn, next to the university's kindergarten lab, and in front of the Performing Arts Center. However, if students are looking for an indoor area to study, one popular alternative study spot on campus is the University Union, located in the center of Cal Poly.
Without the library, the UU is like a nice hub to be. There's a lot of outlets, and you're surrounded by a lot of people, which sometimes is like what you need for motivation.
The University Union has an array of seating on both the first and second floors for students to study. Students also have access to printing, which only costs 9 cents per single page printed in black and white. Other alternative study locations are Cal Poly dining facilities such as Campus Market, Scout Coffee, and the recently renovated 1901 Marketplace. Each dining facility has outdoor and indoor seating options. A relatively new spot that Cal Poly has created for students after closing the Kennedy Library is temporary study tents. These white tents are spread throughout campus and have tables, chairs, whiteboards, fans, and power strips inside. Finally, some other popular study spots among Cal Poly students are the Student Diversity and Belonging Cultural Centers around campus.
So sometimes I'll go to the Native and Indigenous Center because it's right here, and I'll go study there because there's not usually a lot of people that go there. Or I'll find like another center that is pretty quiet, and I'll just go study over there.
While the Kennedy Library is set to open in fall 2025, these study spots will allow first-year students to study with ease. For Mustang News, Cassandra Garcia.
I know with the new dining hall opening up, there's always kids studying in there. I didn't expect it to be so big, so I think I would too if I was on campus.
Yeah, definitely. And it's right in the center of campus, like right close to the UU. And the UU, while it is big, it can only hold so much students. So having that new building right next door is like perfect.
Yeah, and students always go outside. They'll like study on Dexter Lawn, especially not right now because it is raining. It's pouring to be exact outside. But when it's really warm, it's awesome. Kids just put down towels and you see them all on their laptops studying. It looks like a really nice place to get work done.
Definitely. I really like to study, especially outside. There's a lot of like little tables outside. I can't just like lay on the grass, but definitely at a table is my preference. But also, I know I didn't touch on this on the package, but also like the centers or like the what do you call it? Like for us, the Mustang newsroom. I like to study there too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like each college or like major has like their own little hub, I would say. So that's really cool too to benefit from that.
Yeah, no, definitely. I actually prefer to study off campus, I feel like, especially with the library closed. All these places do get kind of packed at certain hours. So I love going to like coffee shops, even out of San Luis Obispo, like Paso Robles or something like that, because it's just really quiet and it's a different feel. It makes you be more productive and get more work done.
Definitely. It gets you in a new environment, I would say. Yeah.
And speaking of study spots, an underrated spot in the rec center, not only can students work out or take workout classes, but on the first floor there are tables and seating to study at. Let's take a look at our live shot in the rec center. How's it looking out there? How's the energy? People studying?
All right, we are back here in the rec, and we are here with Cal Poly Salsa and Cal Poly Swing. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Hi, my name is Jose Lozano. I'm currently the treasurer of the Cal Poly Salsa Club.
And my name is Katie Smith, and I'm currently president of Cal Poly Swing.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit about your clubs. Tell me about like the dancing, when you guys meet.
Yeah, so we teach salsa and bachata beginner lessons every Friday night from 7 to 9 p.m. in the architecture building. And after that, we just social dance all night.
Awesome. So we teach almost all styles of swing dancing, including Lindy Hop, Charleston, and Balboa. We meet every Sunday afternoon in the architecture building, and we social dance at the Madonna Inn every Monday night. Both are completely free.
Awesome. Do you guys have any events coming up where you guys are going to perform, or do you ever do anything like that in general?
Right now, we don't really have anything coming up. We just have our regular Friday night. So if you're looking to, if you got a free Friday night, you're looking to go out a little bit, learn some salsa, we're here.
And along with our weekly lessons, we plan super fun events. At the end of April, we're actually hosting a workshop at the Nexus Dance Studio where we have instructors and a band from LA coming up to teach for us and play for us, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Awesome. And then how can people get involved in your clubs?
Mainly just showing up to the lessons. So like I said, our lessons are beginner friendly. You can also become a member of the club where you pay a membership fee up front and you get access to all the lessons that we do on Fridays, on Mondays, all the social dancing and other fun things that we do like road trips, hangouts, things like that.
Yeah, the easiest way to come involved with Cal Poly Swing is to follow our Instagram at CP Swing, and our lessons are always free for anybody, whether you're a member or not. But if you do want to pay membership dues, you'll get free entry to our quarterly dances, discounts on merch, and a bunch of other things.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, guys. Okay, so since you guys are different types of dance clubs, I know we talked about doing like a little step before that. Maybe you guys want to do a dance battle against each other?
Dance battle.
Like, show us your best move, and then... Yeah, just give us your best move, and then we're gonna see from there.
How much time we got?
Oh, as much time as you want. Go for it.
Are you going first?
I could do some. What are we gonna do?
Oh man.
No, I mean, you're going first, I think.
All right, lovely. Do you want to learn the Lindy Hop basics?
Okay, sure.
Yeah. All right. So all you're gonna do is
All right.
you're gonna rock step. So you're gonna mirror me.
Okay.
So you're gonna be following.
Okay.
So you're gonna rock step back on your right foot. You're gonna go.
Oh, my backwards.
Rock step.
Okay.
And then you're gonna triple step. Triple
step. Okay.
Step. Step. Triple step. All right. Putting that all together.
All right.
Go. Rock step. Triple. Step, triple, and you are officially a Lindy Hopper.
That was a pretty good one. That's gonna be tough to beat.
Yeah, you know what?
All right.
We're gonna make it simple. We're gonna go over the style step basics. So if you'd like to just follow along,
All right.
it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So I'm gonna step forward on 1, back 2 with the right, back 3, hold the 4, back on 5, 6, 7, and then back to it. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. All right, congratulations.
All right, that one was a little more tough, but that was good. I don't know. I think they were both really good. It's hard to decide who was the best, to be honest. Awesome. Okay, so do you guys have any, what is your favorite event of the entire year? That'll be our question to close us off.
That is a really hard question. I think at least this year, for me, it was the big dance bash that we did. I think it was last quarter. We had all the dance clubs there, like the salsa club, the swing club, the line dancing club, and the ballroom club. We all came together for 2 hours of lessons and social dancing for the rest of the night. We had like 200 people in attendance. It was a whole lot of fun.
Oh, man.
Definitely one of my favorite things here at Cal Poly.
Yeah, and you actually just stole my answer. I would say that the dance bash is the best part of the year. It's so much fun.
Awesome. Do you guys do any other events together, or is that the only one?
I think that's the only one right now. We might have something planned later or next year, but it's up to, the other people next year, so.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Yeah, things are brewing, I see. Things, yeah.
We're cooking a little bit.
You're cooking a little bit?
Yeah. Cooking, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Thanks so much. This has been Cal Poly Ballroom and Cal Poly Salsa. Back to you guys in the studio.
That dance bash sounds so fun. I want to go.
It does. Oh my gosh, I'm showing them their moves too. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I've actually taken one of the classes at the rec, the salsa bachata class before. I did a story on it, and it was so fun because I'm a dancer, but not that type of dance.
No, and I love salsa dancing. I've been dancing salsa since I was small, not professionally, but definitely with my parents. But yeah, that looked like so much fun.
Yeah, so we might have to go to the dance bash.
Definitely.
Now that we have explored a little bit of Cal Poly, we are going to quiz each other.
Oof.
I'm scared, on some Cal Poly knowledge. We'll take turns asking each other questions, and then each guess, please feel free to guess with us. Okay, Cassandra, ready? Question number 1. Who is a famous celeb who worked at Cal Poly's radio station?
Oh, I know this one.
There's actually, we're giving you 2 options.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Brad Pitt, crazy, or Weird Al. That would also be wild.
I have to say B, Weird Al.
Yeah, that is correct. I actually did know that
it was Brad
one.
Pitt.
There is a photo of Weird Al in the studio, but I would have loved, I'm going to be honest, I think I would have liked Brad Pitt a little more. That would have been nice.
Okay, your turn, Natalie. How many colleges does Cal Poly have? A, 6 or B, 10?
10 seems like a lot. Even though I feel like I don't really know this that well, I am going to go with A.
Okay. Yes, the answer is A. They are agriculture, food and environmental sciences, architecture and environmental design, engineering, liberal arts, science and mathematics, and business.
That's a lot. That's definitely good choices for students to have for different
Many
majors.
options.
Many options.
Definitely.
Okay, next question. I know the answer to this one. I'm proud of myself. What is Cal Poly's mascot? Come on, you gotta know this. A Mustang, B, a banana slug.
A Mustang. So we literally.
We have to show it.
We have to. Our little Mustang mascot, love. I
think banana slug, is that UC? Oh, Davis?
UC Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz,
Sorry.
yes. No worries.
I took a guess. I was trying. Okay, side question.
Okay.
I actually just mentioned this in the studio this morning randomly, but what is the mascot's name?
Ooh, I remember remember this because I remember my freshman year, I was like, wow, Musty.
Yes, it is.
We love Musty.
Musty's always with Dancy, which is really fun. And we even like, as a little spirit stick, we took one of the horse heads, the horse head on a stick that people you have when you're a kid. And we named it Misty. So Cal Poly dance team, we always bring that around with us.
Misty, Musty, we love them all. Okay, next question, Natalie. What day are SLO's legendary farmers markets? A, Friday, or B, Thursday?
I was just saying that I just went, so it is Thursday. I know the answer to that one.
Yes, I love the farmers markets. Literally fresh produce, fresh food, different food. Love that. Another tradition that you can read more about from Mustang News Magazine, The Peak, which is about bike night, where the first Thursday of each month, SLO residents bike around downtown after the farmers market, which is honestly really cool. You just see a bunch of bike riders each night. That's really cool.
Have you ever done it?
No, I want to.
I do too, but I don't have a bike. But I bet I could borrow one. I had a lot of roommates that would do it every month, and it was so funny because they'd dress up in different silly costumes.
Oh my goodness.
And then sometimes I know Cal Poly van life, they would park in a parking lot and then have a DJ. So everyone at bike night, you go around and then you go into the parking lot and they just blast music.
Oh my
and it
gosh,
sounds so
that sounds
fun.
like a vibe. That really does.
Yeah. Okay. Last question. For all the marbles, what letter did the famous Cal Poly P start as? I do not know the answer to this. A, C, B, H.
I'm gonna go with
H.
I feel like C is too obvious to answer because it's Cal Poly, so maybe H. I'm gonna say BH.
Okay, the answer is H. I'm kind of confused by that. A little background. San Luis Obispo High School and Cal Poly has a history of intense rivalry. Did not know that.
Did not know that.
As a prank, students from San Luis Obispo High School hiked up the hill overlooking the university and spelled the letter H, standing for high, in stones on the hill. Cal Poly students immediately climbed the hill to turn the H into a P. The symbol was changed many times over the years until 1957, when fraternity Delta Sigma Phi built the concrete P that stands today. Another fun aspect of the P is that the different organizations and clubs can paint the letter that overlooks Cal Poly's campus.
That is very interesting. I took a wild guess, but knowing that history.
Have you ever done that, the painting the P?
I haven't. I've hiked the P, but I've never painted the P. But I remember, every year, of my time Cal Poly just being oh, now it's orange. Oh, now it's teal. So that's really cool.
Yeah, I think it's a different color right now. I don't know for what, but that was definitely a bucket list thing of mine. So last year I went up and painted the P. But I picked a day where we didn't have a lot of volunteers and it was very hot, but it was so fun. I genuinely love doing it. I don't think you realize how big the P actually is until you get up there and you're oh, we have to paint all of this purple.
What color? Oh, was it purple?
Yeah, we did it for Safer.
Oh,
which was really fun.
Perfect. That was literally, that's so cool. That quiz was so much fun. I feel like Cal Poly has so many things that I really never even knew about.
Yeah, definitely. In the sunny hills of the Central Coast, a Cal Poly student favorite is to explore the great outdoors. Here's more on where students like to hike around San Luis Obispo.
The Central Coast is known for its natural beauty, and hiking is a popular way for students to get to experience all that nature has to offer. Luckily, some of the best hiking spots in SLO start right here on campus, or aren't far at all. I'm going to be taking you through a few of the best hikes in and near campus. Let's get going. The first hike I'm on is Poly Canyon. This is a more secluded part of campus that's tucked away behind Poly Canyon Village, and the hike takes you through the village and opens up to Architecture Graveyard. The hike up to Architecture Graveyard is a fairly short 15 to 20 minute hike, and once you're in here, you can explore the different structures that are dotted across the hillside in here, or take the full 6-mile loop around the whole open space. Another popular way to experience this part of campus is by hiking all the way up to Serenity Swing, which is especially popular right now during the springtime when everything is green. The P is synonymous with Cal Poly itself, and the trailhead starts just behind Trinity Hall of the South Mountain Dorms, also known as the Red Bricks. The trail itself takes about 30 minutes, and it's a pretty steep uphill climb, but climbing up to the top gives you amazing views of Cal Poly's campus in San Luis Obispo itself. And if the hike up to the P isn't enough, you can even take the trail all the way up to the summit, where you can get 360-degree views of the slough and the hills behind. The P is also a great first stop for the Tri-Tip Challenge. The Tri-Tip Challenge is completing the P, Cerro San Luis, and Bishop's Peak all in one day, and you top it off by getting a tri-tip sandwich at Firestone Grill downtown. To complete the Tri-Tip Challenge, you have to venture off campus, but luckily, Bishop's Peak and Cerro San Luis are just steps from campus. More commonly known by students as Madonna, due to its proximity to Madonna Inn and the large M emblazoned on the side of it, Cerro San Luis is the next hike on the Tri-Tip Challenge. It's a fairly easy hike. There's a few different trailheads that you can take to the summit. The most common one is off of Mars Street by the 101. Taking the trail from that trailhead will take you about 2 hours to get to the summit. The final hike of the Tri-Tip Challenge is Bishop's Peak right behind me. Standing as the tallest of the 9 sisters, Bishop's Peak can prove to be the most challenging hike that I've talked about so far. It is the largest elevation gain and can have some craggy parts, which makes it a little bit challenging for the average hiker. An easier route that starts on the same trailhead off of Patricia Drive is Felsman's Loop. This loop follows the same trailhead, follows the same trail, but it doesn't summit the peak. And of course, the number of outcroppings that are here on Bishops also make it a popular spot for rock climbers in the area. Has of course been a brief overview of a few of the hikes that are right outside of the Cal Poly's campus. This is by no means an exhaustive list of the number of hikes that are in and around SLO, and of course I encourage you all to explore to see all of the natural beauty that the Central Coast has to offer. Reporting for Mustang News, I'm Matthew Bornhorst.
Wow, there's nothing like an early morning hike up Bishops.
Yes, I know. It's part of like, I think it's like the 9 sisters, something like that.
Yes.
I believe, of the Central Coast, and 3 are in SLO. Or 7 sisters, I believe. Sorry about that. I added a little more, 2 more. But yeah, have you done any of the hikes, like the P, Bishops, Madonna?
Yeah, some of you mentioned I haven't, and now I'm curious. I want to try, but I always do the Tri-Tip Challenge. I make myself do it once a year. In the Tri-Tip Challenge, it's where you hike the P, then you do Madonna, and then you do Bishops, all in one day. All in one, I think it just has to be a day, but I've always just gone in one swing, and it's honestly exhausting by the end of it. And like your last mountain, my legs are giving out. But then you go downtown and you go to Firestone and get a tri-tip sandwich. That's tradition, and it's worth it in the end because that sandwich is so good.
See, that's smart. When I did the tri-tip challenge, my friends wanted to do morning, afternoon, and then evening. So we did like an early morning hike, which was the P, like a short, get it done, over with. And then we did, I think it was Madonna, and then Bishops at night. And then we went to downtown.
Yeah, I wonder if that would be better. Or you're letting your body rest and then you're more tired and you can't get the motivation to go again.
I know it was a little hard for me to be like, oh, we have 2 more mountains. But then it's like, I didn't really feel as sore the next day, so I guess it's better. I don't know.
True, and there's 2 different ways to go up Bishops too. You could take like the regular way through a neighborhood, and that just goes through a bunch of trees. That way's really pretty.
Yeah.
Or you could go like straight up where you feel like you're rock climbing. So.
Yeah, that one was a little scary, not gonna lie. I'd rather take the paved way or like the way that's not so dangerous, I would say.
Yeah, but that's a big thing for a student to do, a big tradition. Now we actually have another reporter, Madison Vernon, back at the Rec Center Club Showcase with the Symphony Club.
Okay, hi, welcome back to the Cal Poly Recreation Center. I'm Madison Vernon, and I'm here with the Cal Poly Symphony. Would you guys like to introduce yourself?
Yes, hi, I'm Alex. I'm a 4th year computer science student here. I've been with the Symphony for just over a year now only, but it's been a lot of fun.
Hi, I'm Trinity. I am a 3rd year student at Cal Poly, and I've been with the Symphony for 3 years, and I play violin.
Hi, my name is Rose. I'm a music major here at Cal Poly first year, and I've been with the Symphony for 3 quarters now. Awesome. And then for an incoming freshman, how would you describe the Cal Poly Symphony? I know it is an organization, and it's a rather big organization. So would you like to describe?
Sure. So the symphony, it's pretty big. It's over 100 members. Most of our symphony is actually not music majors. We have a few music majors, but we have computer science majors, engineering majors, architecture majors, you name it. So it's a really great way to just meet people and de-stress by just playing music together.
Awesome. And then how did you all learn about Cal Poly Symphony, and how did you get involved?
So I actually started with Mustang Band. I'm a saxophonist by trade. So I've started with them. I've been with them from freshman year, but then through the music department, learned about all the great ensembles we have. We have so many here, and the directors are really helpful in making sure you can do multiple. So from there, I picked up oboe, and I've been playing with the symphony now for a year. It's just been a lot of fun to do something really different and interesting, really, and branch out from what I was used to, right? With the support of all the wonderful music staff here.
And then how did you two get involved?
So when I came to Cal Poly, I was a math major actually, and so I was unsure about joining symphony. I was like, oh, I've been playing the violin for a while, but I'm not sure if I want to join. But then I decided, okay, I'm just going to go for it. And so I did, and I've really met some of my closest friends in symphony, as well as improved my own abilities.
I heard from one of my friends who I went to school with, who is a 4th year and graduating this quarter, about symphony, and I just kind of took up an interest in the music department, and working with Dr. Arive was really cool, super not scary. The audition went so well. It was just really fun. I think it was a great way to get involved and to enter a community, especially as a first year, which was kind of daunting task to socialize and to find out who I wanted to befriend. It definitely also gave me some of my closer connections here on campus, and I really appreciate it. Awesome. And then what kind of events do you play at, or do you host events as a club or an organization?
So we have one concert every quarter, and we have our fall concert is typically, we play a big symphony, like a Dvorak symphony, Tchaikovsky, those kinds of composers. And then our winter concert is our student soloist showcase. So it's open audition to any of the people who play in symphony. You get a chance to play solo with the orchestra, which is really cool. And we also have done music like Jurassic Park and Studio Ghibli and those fun pieces.
Awesome. And then for our viewers at home, could we give them a quick sample of what the symphony does? Would you guys like to play us a quick little... That was incredible, and I can't imagine how it is when you have 100 of you playing at the same time. It must be like such a magical experience. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us, and we're going to go ahead and toss it back to the studio where we have some more segments and more fun coming up. So, yeah, thank you guys for tuning in.
That was honestly really cool. I am a previous band student. I did band in high school. Don't do it for college, unfortunately. Have other passions, but yeah.
What instrument did you play?
I played clarinet.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you think you could still do it?
I feel like maybe very basic. I don't think I could play a whole performance anymore, but I mean, it was fun. It was fun while it lasted.
We have a lot of talented musicians in SLO, I feel like. Even just our Cal Poly band is so well known and so creative. And then we also have a lot of student bands that do house shows and things like that. It's crazy the different type of music culture we have at Cal Poly. I don't see that anywhere else.
We have a really big music I don't know, hobby, I guess you would say, in the Central Coast, like everywhere. I know there's like house shows where local bands like to play, or like the upcoming Shebang coming up. The Shebang is a music festival hosted in San Luis Obispo where like a bunch of indie artists come and play, but it's really cool to have this big music scene.
Yeah, and we have student bands who get the chance to play at Shebang, and it's getting bigger and bigger every year, so it's really cool that they're able to do that.
Yeah, no, definitely. One thing I will like to say though is that to get to those, unfortunately, some students don't have a car, so that's kind of hard. But there is a resource there for y'all. We're going to take another look and see about the Cal Poly students have access to bus services. Since freshmen are normally not permitted to bring their cars to campus, the bus will be your best friend, literally. To tell us more about the bus system is reporter Izzy Romero.
Since first-year Cal Poly students aren't allowed to have cars on campus, many students rely on the bus, otherwise known as slow transit. There are 4 bus routes that the buses take. Each route has 2 buses going in opposite directions. Students that live on campus can utilize the bus to go to places off campus, like grocery stores, downtown, or friends' houses. Many students who live off campus take the bus to school on a daily basis.
I take the 3A and 3B almost every single day to get to campus. I live over on Madonna Road, so getting to campus as someone who doesn't have a car and doesn't drive can be a little challenging, so I really like the bus because it helps me get here.
Cal Poly students get free access to the bus with their Cal Poly IDs, otherwise known as Poly cards. The Slow Transit app allows bus takers to track where buses are in real time. All Slow Transit buses are accessible for passengers with mobility devices, and hand sanitizer is available on all buses.
Oh yeah, avoid 8 and noon. It's really hard getting to and through campus at those times. From our perspective, I would say just be ready, have your ID ready, get in, sit down quickly. The faster we can get everybody in and going, and it just makes it smoother for us, smoother for riders.
Despite some high traffic times, the bus can make it easier for students to go to and from campus.
Utilize the bus. It is one of the best resources that you get being a Cal Poly student here. You literally only need your Poly card and you can take any of the bus routes here, so utilize it, take it to Farmers, take it to class, take it to campus, take it as much as possible.
It's easy to get to school. It's worth it, It's such a hassle driving and parking. I would recommend hopping on the bus.
For Mustang News, I'm Izzy Romero.
You can find more information about Slow Transit on their website, slowcity.org. I know a ton of students have to take the bus. It's a really nice resource for freshmen. But even if you're just off campus, I have a friend, actually, our KCBR news director, Jordan. She's the one who takes the bus every morning to school, which has just become a really good resource. And a lot of my friends do that.
No, definitely. As a student living off campus, I do live primarily close to campus, so I can walk, but let's say I do want a little more time to get ready or whatever, and I don't necessarily want to walk, the bus stop is right next door to me, so it's so cool and quick and easy to get to class. But another usage of the bus is getting to the famous farmers market.
I know, we've talked about this so much, I feel like, but it is one of our biggest traditions and one of my favorite things to do. One of my favorite things in Slow, I love that Slow can take such a normal day, like a Thursday, and make it memorable and enjoyable.
No, definitely. The food and experience of the farmers market is like no other. Whenever you ask Cal Poly students what their favorite part of school, it's most likely always farmers.
Which is so funny because that has nothing to do with school.
I know, right? I mean, it is a really good day to kind of socialize, I feel like, especially like on a Thursday. Some students don't have class Friday, so even though it's in the evening, it's like a really cool chance to get to know people, get to know the community, try new foods, and also support your local businesses as well.
And one of our reporters, he went down there this past Thursday, was asking a bunch of students their favorite part about it.
Hi there, future Mustangs. My name is RJ Pollock, and welcome to Farmers Market. Here in beautiful downtown San Luis Obispo, every Thursday from 6 to 9 p.m., our wonderful city throws on the Farmers Market. So join me today and learn what it's all about.
From food to live music, there's no shortage of events at Farmers Market to go see and do. So let's talk to some community members and students to see what they think about farmers.
It's pretty amazing. Honestly, there's so much good energy and a lot of people. The smells are immaculate, and I can't wait to try some food.
It's a must. You have to do it. It's the place to be.
I really think like farmers is really important because it's like it combines like school culture and town culture, and it's just like a thing that happens every week, like a tradition.
I really think farmers is a really good way to connect with not only students but people just around town. It's a way of getting off campus and just being able to enjoy and relax and slow as a whole.
Oh, it's awesome. The turnout's amazing. Me and my family usually come out here for vacation, and we always come to the farmers market.
Love like fresh food, good time to get dinner and have fun.
Yeah, just a really good vibe with your friends. It's fun to dress up and go out, and coming to this last year was like, it kind of set the scene for us. So.
Honestly, the first time I came, I had no idea. We had a farmers market at my old town, but nothing compares to this. It's a lot of people, a lot of tents, a lot of things to do. It's really what you make of it, though. It's already embedded itself in the culture here, and yeah, it's a pretty sweet thing to do every Thursday.
Probably the weather when it's like the sundown, it's not like rainy or anything. That's the best. Like if it's like the sun's going down and there's a lot of people around, the lights and stuff. The atmosphere is great.
I love it. I love it here. I think it's a great environment, and I love farmers. I'm an animal science major myself, so I've been surrounded by farmers. I raise livestock and like sell it, so I love farmers. I love what they do, and I love this market. It's so cool. The community's great here.
Portions here are usually pretty big, and honestly, if you go to places that don't have a very long line, they'll still be amazing. Good food all around.
Farmers is definitely the largest weekly event that you do not want to miss out on. From fresh produce to amazing food to music and live events and performers, it is definitely the place to be.
So as you can see, Farmers is truly the thing here to do on a Thursday night. The hustle and bustle, the food, the atmosphere, the people, the music, truly is an experience that you can't pass up. So if you're considering Cal Poly, come check out Farmers Market. Reporting for Mustang News, I'm RJ Pollock.
Farmers Market showcases the best food, produce, and music that SLO has to offer. However, another huge aspect of SLO culture is their coffee shops. Because of the amount of college students that are in SLO, it kind of makes sense that there's a huge amount of shops. I mean, we do need our caffeine.
Definitely. The great thing is that a lot of these shops are owned by locals. One thing about SLO residents is that they will have an opinion of what shop is the best. Reporter McKenna Rodriguez has more on the best coffee shops SLO has to offer.
San Luis Obispo offers a variety of coffee shops all around town, each with their own distinctive look and atmosphere. While there are numerous places to choose from when looking for a pick-me-up drink, or just a place to study away from roommates, some shops have stuck out more than others and proven to be popular amongst students. Family-owned coffee shop Nautical Bean has 3 locations in town. In their location on Parker Street, walls are decorated with miscellaneous stickers, posters, and skateboards with musicians' faces. This location specifically offers ample seating for studying or just grabbing a drink. Besides their specialty espresso drinks, blended juices, and teas, they offer an extensive breakfast and lunch menu. Scout Coffee is a well-known coffee shop in SLO that has a location on campus, on Foothill Boulevard, and downtown. Along with their coffee, they offer a variety of teas, sodas, and even a milkshake. The drinks and the bright atmosphere have made the shop popular with students and locals, including Brittany Steinbrenner, who enjoys their menu offerings the most.
I've actually been going here since it first opened, back when I was in high school. So every day before school, I would come here and I'd get a honey tea bowl, which is one of my absolute favorites. And now I tend to come here right before work and get a latte, and they know me by name. And so, I come here almost every day.
Conveniently, just a few doors down from Scout's downtown location is Linnea's. Linnea's differs from other shops in SLO because they offer an outside patio at the back of the shop where you can study in the sunshine and amongst the greenery. Or if you would rather stay inside, they have seating there as well. According to manager Lily Quirk, Linnaeus was founded by artists for artists, which they have tried to maintain since its opening 40 years ago.
Both me and my brother grew up around here. We're from Los Osos, so when we saw that Linnaeus, there was an opportunity to stay within the community, it was like, oh my gosh, we gotta send it, because I'm an artist, and my brother's an artist too, and then my brother's wife, Rusty, who makes all the bread and all the stuff, we're all artists here, so we kind of just like to maintain that.
For Mustang News, I'm McKenna Rodriguez.
Those coffee shops are honestly like, oh, I love them. I feel like they give Slow like their name. Like it's that homey feeling. You know
They
what I mean?
definitely do.
What's your favorite coffee shop in Slow, Natalie?
So I actually don't drink coffee, so I can't be the judge of that particular aspect, but I'm obsessed with matcha, and I always go to Scout. I know that's like, it's on Cal Poly's campus also, but there's one right off it, there's one downtown, and it's my absolute favorite. It never lets me down.
I think one just opened up in Morrow too.
Oh yes,
like,
a new one did.
Yeah, there's a lot. I would say my favorite, I really like Corazon Cafe. That
where's
opened up
that?
in downtown. It's like right next to like the Vans shop almost. I think somewhere around there, but it's really cute. It's a little hole in the wall type of small business, but they have like authentic like Mexican drinks, like Café de Olla. It's really good. I really love it.
Yeah, I've never heard of that. One of the great things about these places too is, like I said, I don't drink coffee, so I love getting their food. And Scout's ham and cheese croissant, to be specific, is delicious.
Yes, I know. Same like Corazon Cafe, they have all the food that like my mom used to make. That's like authentic Mexican or Latino food, like chilaquiles, burritos, tacos. It's really good.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to try it there.
Yes.
And now that I'm a senior, I've also realized how many different restaurants I've tried in Slow, and just around the area in general. Mustang News actually puts out a survey at the end of fall to find out Cal Poly students and the community's favorite activities and restaurants in Slow. I got the chance to try out some of those restaurants that were voted #1.
Every year, Mustang News puts out a new edition of Poly Picks, where the community and Cal Poly students vote on their favorite places in San Luis Obispo. This could be surf spots, restaurants, boutiques, all of the above. Today, I'm going to try some of our favorite places to eat, and we're here at Papa's Thai, the best Thai place, voted by Cal Poly students and the community. Let's go try it out. Okay, so today we're going to try the pad Thai and the pineapple fried rice. Let's go into the pad Thai. All the flavors are there. You really get that saltiness and the soy sauce. The tofu is really crispy on the outside. Okay, now we're going to try the pineapple fried rice. There's cashews on top, and I almost feel like I get a nutty flavor, but the sweet of the pineapple with the salty, like savory of the rice, there's a lot of flavors going on. I'm outside of our next stop, Taqueria El Guero, one of the places voted best taqueria in San Luis Obispo. I'm excited and hungry, let's go try it. Okay, first we are going to try the birria tacos, what Mustang News always talks about, and one of their crowd favorites. That is so good. It's so juicy. Okay, now we're going to try their aguachiles, which they said is a little spicy, but I'm good with spice, so let's see. The shrimp is so good. And with the kiwi and the avocado, it's really refreshing. And to wash it down, we're gonna try one of the horchatas. Super creamy. I'm not getting as much cinnamon. Now we're going to try one of the burritos that we actually got to watch them make ourselves, and it looked incredible already. I like how they wrapped it up and so crisped it. It's carne asada, and it's super creamy. It's not dry, even though there's rice in it. Okay, now we're going to try their tres leches cake. Nice bite of everything. It's so moist, and you know that because they poke the holes in tres leches and let it all sink in. So good. And the cinnamon on top is really delicious. Adds that nice spice to it. Okay, we're finally here at our last stop, Madonna Inn, voted best sweet treat. Let's go get some cake. Okay, here we are, Madonna Inn, the famous pink champagne cake, one of my favorites. Let's try it again. It's always so fluffy. But the best part about it is this yellow frosting has a bunch of almond extract in it. Very unexpected. Also, all of this pink shaving is white chocolate, which adds this perfect crunch. Well, Poly Picks was definitely right. These are some of the best places I've tried in Slow. If you want to pick up your own issue of Poly Picks 2024, you can find them around campus. For Mustang News, I'm Natalie Levesque.
I loved doing that package. It was so much fun. And getting to try all those places, I've had the pink champagne cake before. That is one of my absolute favorites. But I hadn't tried the taqueria or Papa's Thai, and they were both so good. That burrito, to be specific, I went with my roommate, so I let her take a bite, and we were saying how that's probably the best burrito I've had ever.
I'm like low-key jealous. I saw that food and I'm like, wow, that looks so good. But no, definitely. I bet you had fun with that one.
Yeah, it was. I'm making everyone in the studio here hungry. They're all talking about it now, but I need lunch now, so.
Right. Well, I know there's also more clubs that we should see, some that do cooking as well. We're going to toss it to the field with our live reporter to see some updates on some of the clubs that are at the club showcase.
All right, we're back here in the rec center. We are back here in the rec center with the Sustainable Fashion Club. Can you two introduce yourselves?
Hi, my name is Lanaya, and I'm the president of Sustainable Fashion Club.
And I'm Molly, and I'm the treasurer of Sustainable Fashion Club.
Awesome. So go ahead and tell me a little bit about what Sustainable Fashion Club does and some of your events.
Awesome. Yeah, so our club is a group of students that advocate for ecological integrity and social justice through fashion. So we're really excited to be out here today, kind of advertising just what our mission is and how we try to bring sustainability onto campus, make it more accessible for students to make those important choices of how they dress themselves and where they get their clothes from.
Yeah, so for events, we do really fun stuff like the swap and shops. You've probably seen them on Dexter Lawn. And then we have quarterly thrift trips as well, where we take folks off campus and show them about the resources we have around.
Awesome. Okay, so what would you say your favorite event is for your club all year?
We've been preparing for the fashion show. That is our big ticket event of the year. It's super exciting. It's in collaboration with FITS, Fashion, Innovation, Trendsetting, and Styling Club. They're wonderful. This is the third year in a row that we're doing it with them. It's going to be in Chumash Auditorium on May 19th. But that's essentially a showcase of student creativity, student art. It's a completely student-led event, designers, models, planners, everything like that. So we're pretty excited for that one.
Yeah, this is kind of lame, but my favorite event is probably the general meetings because we do a lot of really great quality education that you probably don't get in your typical classes. And I also find that it's a really, really great place to like make friends and meet your community. Yeah.
Awesome, I love it. So tell me more about this fashion show. Who designs the clothes? Who goes? How can somebody attend?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, like I said, it's all student run. So because this is the third year that we're doing it, we're really refining and trying to kind of scale it up, so getting more people involved. So a couple of months ago is when the process started. We had designers, all students apply, kind of showcase what they wanted to do with our theme, which we haven't revealed yet. So to learn more about that, definitely check out our Instagram, CP Sustainable Fashion, also FITS at SLO. It'll be a super fun event, but that's coming up soon.
Awesome. Okay, so I saw that you guys had some pieces at your table. Tell me a little bit about it. I know you have one here. What does the tag say? Fill me in.
Awesome, yeah. So this is kind of the little draw we bring into our club. We have a lot of clothes out there. So this is just a little skirt, right? We have this price tag attached that kind of is meant to show the true cost of fashion. So this one here says 97% of apparel sold in the U.S. is made overseas. So that's just to kind of show the point, like, yes, it has a price, monetary price, but it actually has a lot of different costs, both to the planet and to society and the people that make the garments.
Yeah, totally. And also, tell me about your guys' outfits. Are you guys wearing outfits that are thrifted? Who are you wearing?
So, okay, my little hat cover thing is my friend actually made it for me. She stamped on it for me. And then this I actually got at a swap and shop on Dexter Lawn, so show up. Yeah, but everything's pretty much thrifted. You can't go wrong with the docs.
Totally. Yeah, I got this scarf for like 50 cents, and I wear it almost every day. It's one of my favorite pieces.
I love it.
And this hat, my friend made this.
Oh my gosh. Awesome. Do you guys ever wear the stuff that you guys sell at the swap and shops? Do you you said you bought yours at the, okay, awesome. So is that how much of your closet would you say is the stuff that you guys sell at swap and shops?
How what? Sorry.
How much of your closet would you say is from things that you guys are selling?
Most of it, most of it. It's actually funny because half the time I show up to the swap and I'm wearing one outfit, but I'll be going through and I'll see something, so I change my outfit a little. It's great, and as well as the swap component really promotes that circular fashion. So I'll have a shirt that I'll put in the swap, but I'll see one of my friends wearing it. So it's a really cool community.
Yeah. And then other than your fashion show coming up, what other events can people look forward to from your club?
Yeah, so we've got a couple of things coming up. The Swap Shop's the main thing. On April 20th, we are having a craft sale at Front Porch. It's our spring fashion fair, also with Fits, kind of to generate some funds and some revenue for the fashion show. I'm looking forward to that. It'll be essentially the same thing, kind of a craft sale, so all student vendors, small businesses, things like that.
Perfect. And then how can new prospective students get involved in your club?
So definitely follow us on Instagram at CP Sustainable Fashion, and then we got a new website with Fits featuring the fashion show. That's fitsxsfc.com, as well as we have a link tree in that Instagram bio and on Cal Poly Now.
Many places. Many places.
Awesome. Okay, thank you so much for meeting with us today. Back to you guys in the studio.
Yeah, that's really awesome. I always see those swap and shops on Dexter Lawn, and I'm always busy going to class, but I need to stop by and look at them one day.
Yes, I've gone to a few, and I love it. I feel like you find so many like unique finds. Like, I know they have a lot of jewelry. I love vintage jewelry. I actually got like one of my favorite hoodies from there too. It's just, I love it, and everything is like so community based. So it's like, I don't know, feels like its own little niche. I guess.
And we have a lot of people that thrift at Cal Poly. I wish I was better at it, so that's why those swap and shops are so fun, because I feel like those people who run it know what they're doing, so they have all the cooler finds that are more tailored towards students if you're going to go to Dexter Lawn.
No, definitely. I know I do like to thrift around here. I've gone to like the bins, I've gone to the like smaller thrift stores on like in downtown, but I feel like Swap and Shop is such a good opportunity for first years who aren't able to go as far to the bins, because I know the bins are more like, I would say like down more from, like they're a lot further from campus is what I'm trying to say. So like having that opportunity to find unique finds on your school campus is really cool in my opinion.
No, it definitely is. And it's so cool that they have the fashion show too.
Definitely.
Like, I didn't know that was a thing, and it's so cool that the students design them themselves.
Yeah, no, definitely. The fashion show, would love that.
Yeah, for sure. And now we actually have a special thing about Mustang News. We always do game days, which is our live shows, and we have a behind the scenes of that, of how we're going to do that, like our one next Saturday, which is going to be softball. So here's a little behind the scenes.
Welcome to Mustang Game Day here on the Central Coast at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo.
We're at one of our Mustang News game days. So everything that you see right now is actually helping us to produce this broadcast that you have been seeing and watching over the past 2 hours. So a few things that we have some lights. So because it's a gym, the lighting sometimes isn't the best, so we have to put these lights up there. So we set those up, they kind of come in different pieces. We also have 3 cameras so that we can get different shots. So we have a shot of just the anchors that are going on right now, and then we have a shot of the interview subject and a shot of all of them together. So that's also what you've been seeing. And then if you come back here with me, we also have a whole setup so that we can see the cameras, we can see what kind of videos that we've already pre-recorded and filmed. We have our amazing broadcast engineer, Thomas, who helps us put on everything, and a whole team that has to be here to make sure that whatever we're doing, everything is seamless and perfect. It's a lot of work, but it's always fun and always very memorable, and I hope you guys enjoy it.
Those game days, I swear, they're like the best. I don't know. They're hectic, but also like once we finish them, they're so cool.
Yeah, I feel like they do kind of look like chaos at times, but they always come out looking really awesome, and it's really fun to have students watch.
And that cross collaboration between like sports and video, I feel like is really cool.
Especially when we're out on like the basketball court or out at the fields, it's really good, that learn by doing aspect.
Exactly, we love that. And speaking about learn by doing, one thing that you can learn by doing is vote. The ASI elections are coming up later this month. Voting for these elections starts Tuesday, April 23rd. Here to talk more about ASI and the upcoming elections is the chair of the ASI Recruitment and Elections Committee, Mark Cabelisa.
Sweet, thank you guys. So yeah, upcoming on April 23rd to 25th is the ASI elections. Basically, students across campus can log into their Cal Poly portal, and basically there you'll click on a link that will take you to vote for the upcoming elections. So there's actually two two ways that you can vote. One of them is actually you're going to vote for the upcoming ASI president. So that one is college-wide. So basically, you can vote for any representative that best represents you. And then once you click on the ASI president, the next thing you'll vote for is your college-specific board of directors. So for example, I represent the College of Ag, Food, and Environmental Sciences. And basically, I'll get to choose up to 4 candidates that I believe best represent me, and obviously send my ballot in and hopefully get them elected for the ASI elections. So yeah, mark your calendars for April 23rd to the 25th. Voting starts at 8 a.m. on April 23rd, and from there, we're going to wish our candidates the best of luck, and hopefully the rest of campus can support our candidates for the upcoming elections.
Yes, that is amazing. Kind of going a little more into detail, can you tell us a little more about ASI and what it is as a whole for Cal Poly?
Yeah, so ASI is basically a nonprofit corporation that kind of dictates a lot of things that happen on campus. Specifically for me, I know I currently serve on the board of directors, which is one of the 3 branches in student government. And what we do is we do a lot of connecting and working and networking with the Cal Poly partners, which is kind of what dictates campus dining, a lot of the capital projects that happen on campus in terms of residential housing and buildings on campus. And we're kind of like the front runners, and we represent the student voice to these big, the big organizations like University Housing and Cal Poly partners, and basically make sure that we advocate for the students today and obviously for the students for the future. So that's kind of what I do as part of the board of directors involving student government and ASI. But there's so many opportunities that you can. If you want, you can follow Cal Poly ASI on Instagram, or you can search us up on the website, and there you can find out all the different opportunities that we provide.
Yeah, it seems like ASI has their hands in everything, and it's really good to just give students a voice. So what is the process if you want to run, just for students that are thinking about it?
Yes, so currently we already have closed our filing process. So our filing process started about February 5th and closed on February 26th. And basically, if you want to run for a board of director candidate, you fill out a packet, you write out a candidate statement, and basically talk about the reason why you want to run to become a board of director. So the filing for that has closed. Same thing for president. However, currently, if you want to run and miss the deadline, you can still continue on running. The way you do it is, once again, you search up Cal Poly ASI, go on the student government page in the ASI recruitment and elections portion, and there you can find a write-in candidate packet. The only disadvantage between a regular candidate who filed during the deadline versus a write-in candidate is you don't get your name on the ballot. So, for example, like regular elections, if you want someone to vote for you, someone's going to have to write your name in. And basically, that's the best way to run. So if you still want to consider running, if you're kind of on the fence, I say get your name out there. Active campaigning starts today at 5 p.m. So if students want to advertise themselves, tell people that they're running for a board of directors or president, they can go ahead and do that. And if they're a writing candidate, they just got to make sure that people write their name on the ballot.
That is really cool. Very interesting. Can you tell us a little more about the main role of the ASI elections?
Yeah, so the main role of the ASI elections is, one, just serve as a democratic process in order to make sure that students can have representatives that will best represent them on the campus-wide level. So for me last year, the reason I ran was because I saw there's a lot of things on campus where I necessarily didn't see was the best moving forward for students. Like, for example, I'm sure everyone knows about all the construction that's happening on campus at the moment. And obviously, as a freshman student last year, there's a lot of stuff where I said, I don't want my college experience being interrupted like that. So I decided to run for a board of directors, and then now I get to serve as representative, where we'll have, let's say, community leaders come in during our board meetings, talk a little bit more about what the projects look like. They want the student feedback, student opinions on what they want moving forward. And for me, like, as a board of directors, our job is to question them, kind of be like, so what are we going to do about, let's say, controlling student traffic? How are we going to continue to improve student quality of life on campus? So that's kind of the role that we've had at ASI, but ASI is just there's such a bigger portion in Cal Poly. I'm sure you guys know Poly Escapes, the Rose Float, let's say the Children's Center. ASI has so many different hands in everything, and I know I'm only speaking on behalf of student government, but like, I hate saying and plugging it, but like, if you want to find out more about what Cal Poly ASI does, you can either look at us on the website or look at our Instagram.
Yeah, it seems like a great opportunity just for all students. And I mean, you went through the process, so what can we expect coming up in this year's elections?
Yeah, so currently there's actually some pretty important dates coming up. Today at 5 p.m. is when active campaigning starts. So students who have filed or want or are going to be on the ballot, basically this is their time that they can start spreading the word that says, hey, vote for me for the upcoming elections as president or as a board of directors. So that starts today. Next Thursday, I forgot the date, but next Thursday is actually the presidential debate. And this is where we'll have our presidential candidates. We'll have a debate set up for them in the UU Plaza from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. On Thursday. So if you guys would like to see your presidential candidates, feel free to come by. Us and also the Chloe Lovejoy, who is the chief editor of Mustang News, have created a script, created the questions for the presidential candidates to talk about.
Yeah, I believe that's on the 18th, correct?
18th, yes, thank you. And then the last two important dates is April 22nd on Monday at 11 o'clock. If you head over to Mustang Way, basically we'll have a giant meet and greet for all the candidates who are running, whether they're a write-in or they're already filed. So if you want to come by and meet some of the people that you're voting for and maybe the representatives that will represent you for the upcoming year, feel free to stop by Monday, April 22nd at 11 a.m. in Mustang Way and basically get to chat a little bit more about the representatives. And if you talk to enough of them, you can go ahead and get some free ice cream on us as well. And then once again, April 23rd is when election starts and voting closes on April 25th at 8 a.m.
Wow, that was really cool. Very vital information. Thank you so much for joining us.
Of course.
That's nice to meet you.
Of course. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. And just a reminder, the election does begin on April 23rd at 8 a.m. until April 25th at 8 a.m. as well.
And I think we're actually going to head over back to the rec with another live shot of the Unicycle Club. What's going on over there?
And we're going on, so. Okay. Hi, and welcome back to the Cal Poly Recreation Center. I'm Madison Vernon, and I'm here with the Unicycling Club. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, I'm AJ Kinsella Johnson. I'm a third year. I've been unicycling for a while.
I'm Seven Sawandi. I'm a first year, and I've been unicycling for about a few months.
Now tell me, I know that this is like a very big club on campus. How did you two get involved?
I grew up unicycling. I found out we had a club here, and so the next logical step was to join and keep practicing.
I just heard word of mouth during WOW Week and was like, that sounds awesome. Got to go check it out. Just stayed ever since.
Okay, and before the interview, you were telling me that a lot of people haven't tried unicycling before joining the club. What would you tell prospective freshmen if they're interested in joining?
Just show up. I don't think we're that scary. And we teach. The main thing our club does is teach, and Seven can talk more about that.
Just kind of come in, check it out. It's very low commitment. You can just come in on a Monday, Friday night, just try it out for a little bit, head out, come back next week, try it again, you know?
Yeah, and it's a free club, no club dues. We have unicycles. You don't need your own. Just show up with preferably closed-toed shoes, but we've seen it all.
Yeah. And what does a normal meeting look like?
Show up at 6, start unicycling, learning skills.
Lots of people on the fence, just kind of learning to unicycle. Some people riding across, you know, everyone just like having a good time, chatting, you know, just having fun.
So. Awesome. And then what tips would you give people who are just learning how to unicycle?
Generally, the two things I give is pedals vertical is bad, and control the seat. But the other thing is you just have to be willing to fall. You have to be willing to know that's the thing that's going to happen. You'll end up on your feet almost all the time, but it's a thing that can happen.
Okay, awesome. And then we'd love to see some of these tips in action. I know we have our camera woman, Leora, here, who is willing to give them a try. So would we like to see? Okay, she's going to give it a go. Here she goes. Okay, so she is currently getting on the unicycle, and she is up, moving forward. This
is so funny.
Oh my
actually
goodness.
doing really good.
Wow. Look at that balance. I could not.
Amazing job. Well, thank you guys so much for taking the time to speak with us, and we're going to send it back to the studio.
Wow, that was pretty good. I don't think I could ever unicycle. I've tried once, did not even let the people let me go at all. I felt like I was unstable the entire time.
No, I think I would like literally fall.
That's why we stick to journalism.
Yes, I need something where I'm just stable.
Yeah. And as members of MMG, we've gotten an inside look into campus over the past few years, like all of these clubs. Our organization is comprised of over 200 members and 3 sections: our business side, our radio station, KCPR 91.3 FM, and our news section, Mustang News. Every year, different students interview to become leaders of the organization. As we come to a close this year, reporter Madison Vernon wanted to interview our current editor-in-chief, Chloe Lovejoy. Let's take a look.
My name is Chloe Lovejoy. I'm a 4th-year journalism major and media arts society and technology minor. And this year I am the editor-in-chief for Mustang Media Group, which has been a really great experience. I was at the Associated Collegiate Press Conference in Atlanta in October. The Lizzie fire broke out right behind SLO High School, and I was just getting all of these like floods of like our Slack messages of people being like, oh my gosh, people are like evacuating from my classroom, I'm hearing like sirens, apparently there's all these little fires breaking out, is there an arsonist? And I was across the country, 3 hours away, and was just like panicking because so much was happening and I was like not there for it. But I ended up like partially writing that story with our news editor, and we were just like sharing updates. I was putting it into the WordPress and we were publishing it, adding updates. And that was really great because we had reporters like literally in people's backyards, like taking videos of the fire, talking with people that were being directly affected. We had people at SLO High talking to high schoolers and teachers. And it just was kind of this huge collective story that for my own capacity I was able to just like put some words together and publish it and make sure it was getting out as fast as possible. But there was so much great reporting that I was being funneled into that. They can definitely apply before they're even at Cal Poly. When I was news editor, I was interviewing people who were graduating from high school. Like literally one of my reporters, she did her Zoom interview like the same day as her high school graduation. So I would tell people to get involved as soon as possible. There's plenty of space. We're like a huge 200+ person organizations. And I would also say there's opportunity to do multiple types of reporting. You can try video, you can go on KCPR, do the radio, write investigations. Like there's endless opportunities. I'm hoping to become a congressional or White House correspondent one day. My aspirations are more directed towards politics and policy reporting. Big dream goal is to one day become a documentary filmmaker, and I love the cinematic process. I think it's so interesting and so beautiful, and a really accessible way to do journalism in like a longer format.
That ending clip right there was actually the studio that we're recording in right now. That's really cool. I love being in Mustang News. Both me and Natalie are in Mustang News, and this is how we're able to do this live stream for our audience. I joined Mustang News my freshman year. Natalie, when did you join?
I actually joined my sophomore year, and I started with joining KCPR, so I still do that. You can hear me every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday mornings. But I didn't join my freshman year because we had COVID, so I know a lot of my class were like that. We had like an insurge of students joining sophomore year, and we're all still here. We obviously all love it so much.
Yeah, I kind of jumped around a bit. I did opinion my freshman year, then I joined KCPR sophomore year for podcasting, and now video team, which is really fun.
Yeah, I just joined video team this year. I did MNTV. We both took that class.
Yeah, we both took that class.
Last year, which was really fun, and that kind of gets you an insight, that learn by doing aspect. And then we both fell in love, obviously. And you're going to be our future video director. So
yes,
there you go.
Exciting. And also here to talk to us more about Mustang News is our upcoming editor-in-chief, Amelia Wu.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you doing?
We're doing great. Just came from an open house booth And that was super fun, just in the rec, just yelling at new students, being like, join Mustang News.
Were a lot of people interested?
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like a strong interest this year, so I'm really excited to see some of the new applications coming in.
For sure.
Oh my goodness. Yes. So, Amelia, tell us a little more about Mustang News.
Yeah, of course. So Mustang News, we're under like Mustang Media Group, which is a big umbrella term for the print, our radio station, KCPR, MNTV, and even a business side of it too, with all the sales and the ad team. But yeah, we're just here to provide, information on Cal Poly, look into kind of the different stories here on campus, and just really inform our student body on the latest information.
Yeah, we definitely do a lot. What do you feel like Mustang News, what type of stories do we usually try and highlight? What are our different sections that people can read?
Yeah, so we have like the latest breaking news, maybe something important comes out on campus, maybe an email from President Armstrong, for example. But also just really fun features and hidden stories and gems within SLO that you might not really know about unless you see our website, and those reporters are out on the field, getting to know those communities. And I'd say those are like our primary areas that we're looking at. Yeah, am I missing anything?
That sounds about right.
Yeah, sounds about right. You were saying that you were at the club showcase trying to like get students to enroll, which I love that. How can like new or current students get involved with Mustang News?
Currently, yeah. So I'd say our application season is coming really, really close, so keep an eye out for that. But I think currently, like even as a journalism student, like you're getting involved in your classes with Mustang News, and just like picking up a newspaper, and just really getting to know like the stories that are within them. I think, yeah, it's really easy to get involved, and we're always here, like, join when you're ready. You can join as early as you like or as late as you like, and I think it's either way a really great experience.
Yeah, it definitely is. Like I always say, get involved, and I think all of us in Mustang News, people stay, and if anything, they join more sectors of it. Yeah. Can you talk a little about like the different branches and different places they could join, incoming students?
So at least on our Mustang News side, I know there's the news team, and they're pretty general and broad, and I think that's a great place to just kind of find your niche. But also there's Arts and Student Life, there's The Hill, which is our data investigations team. I have a bias towards that though, because I'm reporting for them. As well as just like our video team with you guys, radio station. So I think all of those areas are kind of a great place to learn a little bit more about journalism and like the potential of great storytelling. Yeah.
And there's a lot of crossover, I feel like. Like people usually just don't stick to one thing unless you're a manager, which is a lot of work, but even then people are trying it all.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at our newest edition of Mustang News right now, looking at this. Yeah, this is how long does it take for the newspaper to get made? Like, what does that look like?
It's quite a process, but I do know that we release one every single month, and we're pumping out stories, and we kind of, as an editorial board, kind of look at what stories would people be interested in seeing in print, what would make like beautiful layouts and pages, and yeah, I'd say about a month or so of like looking at stories, creating the layouts of these pages, and yeah, it's a really cool medium of like all the collaboration that really goes down within Mustang News.
So as editor-in-chief, like obviously you have so many responsibilities coming up. Like what does that entail for you?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's also just the editorial direction of this newspaper, how we want to like interact with the community, with SLO, with Cal Poly, and then also just like, I think, just getting the information to you guys, to our listeners, to our readers, to our audience, just in an engaging way, and just something that I think is really great about our student media is that like it's run by students, it's like by us, and we really understand because we're like living that experience. And so I think, yeah, that's just part of what I'm here to do, to serve that community and encourage, conversation.
And you overlooked so many people, like we said. It was over 200 students. Like, that is a lot.
For sure.
Yeah, is there anything we can look forward to in the future?
Ooh.
Yeah, for next year?
Yeah, some plans in the works. I don't know. I'm trying to plan out some, community engagement events. Besides our wonderful breakfast club events, getting to know a bit more of our reporters and just the team that really puts a lot of effort into like what you see around campus. So keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, I like how we've been doing that lately, like on our Instagram. We've been highlighting a lot more of the reporters because there is so much work that goes into it. I think people forget that we're students. We have so many other lives and classes and things like that. Do you have like a favorite story or you've done or maybe in this edition, anything like that?
I would say, well, in this edition, the year-long investigation, our cover story about the Cal Poly Foundation and where the investments really go in terms of like fossil fuels and environmental impacts that our campus is making. And I think that story is a really great story. I think it's actually very narrative heavy, even though it might seem like it's about money and investments and all of that. So I'd say take a look at that one. A lot of work went into it, and I'm really proud of the reporter who put that out and the team that really supported it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That is really cool. Can you talk a little more about your journey in Mustang News?
Yeah, I started my freshman year as well. I think you mentioned that earlier, and just hit the ground running. I was primarily heavily in news, and I don't know, I just fell in love with it. I think just the constant like practice and going out there really helped with that passion. It's just like a great way to explore slow. I think you get to meet people you've never expected to meet and talk to them about like their life. And so, yeah, I'd say just through that, that got me to the investigations team, doing some longer, in-depth stories, and now we're here doing editor-in-chief next year, which is beyond my wildest dreams.
And how has that transition been? So we just talked a little about Chloe, like how is that working, talking with her and just learning what you have to do?
Chloe's been great in terms of like being a mentor and like kind of walking me through like what that role is going to look like and things that she wants to see continue next year as well. And I really want to be able to honor that. And yeah, so it's a good transition. We're excited.
That is really cool. I mean, we're going into our fourth year. We've had a long history throughout the journalism just department. From that, like, what from your journalism journey, what's your favorite class that you've taken?
Oh gosh. Shout out to Katya Sengel. Her feature writing class was probably one of my favorite classes. I don't know, she really pushed me as a writer from 203, which is Intro to News Reporting and Writing, to now. So I think just that class in general was just like a really great place to explore a new type of writing and get to know people and all of that. So highly recommend that one.
Yeah, I took that one. I absolutely loved it. Just getting to pick like one specific thing for a few weeks and really deep dive. And I mean, that's a lot of our stories that you'll see on Mustang News or in our newspaper. It's really fun.
Definitely. I took that class last quarter and it was amazing. I love doing features. Yeah, getting to know everyone in your community and like highlighting different spots. It's really fun.
Do you have a story that you feel like a favorite that you really deep dived into? I know you did one last year, right?
Yeah.
That was pretty extensive.
Yeah, I did a lot of coverage on Joseph Castro, but I would actually say my favorite story was about student housing. I think it's a big topic within just college media in general, and it was just really exciting to look at it just at Cal Poly. It was about the second-year housing requirement and how a lot of people have to live on campus for a second year, and that often means, you know, financial strains for some people or just inconveniences. And so just kind of clarifying and demystifying that process of like, why are you required to be on campus for 2 years? And that was really fun just because I got to like do a survey, send out like a mass email. a little nerdy about that. But and that was just like really cool to just hear student sentiment, but like in a very large sample size, and it was something new, you know.
I feel like you do a lot of investigative work like that, and that's part of the Hill, correct? Can you talk about that? Because that's a different like branch or section kind of a Mustang.
Yeah, the Hill is a data investigations team. We have data analysts working alongside reporters, and we like to kind of look at, you know, maybe topics that don't get as much attention, and really deep dive into them and clarify maybe some complex things that are happening on campus that are confusing and make them a little more approachable for the average reader. And so you can kind of understand how Cal Poly works as a university, as a business. And I think that's what makes the Hill so special. It's like you get to learn all these like new systems, but with like narratives in it, so it's like a little bit more engaging.
Yeah, there's so many different aspects of it.
Yeah, definitely. And our final question for you, how would you describe MMG in one word?
One word.
Ooh, that's a really good question. MMG, I guess I would say it's like, say like almost unexpected, but like in a good way. I think you never know what's gonna happen, and like keeps you on your toes, and I think that's just like the exciting part of it, of like, you know, you never know what to expect, but that's
definitely.
for sure. So
love that.
Of course.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. It was great talking to you. I'm excited for this year.
Yeah.
And also, thank you for joining us this year for our open house extravaganza.
We hope you learned a little more about Cal Poly than before. Again, I'm Cassandra Garcia.
And I'm Natalie Levesque. Have a great rest of your day.